In the quiet streets of Crumlin, Dublin, where rows of modest homes stood against the backdrop of a bustling city, the story of Conor McGregor's parents began long before their son would rise to global fame. Margaret and Tony McGregor were not the kind of people you'd expect to be thrust into the spotlight. They were everyday folks, grounded in family values and an unwavering belief in hard work. Dear audience, before moving forward, I would like to say, your support means the world to us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon, and share this video with your friends to keep us motivated as we bring you valuable content. But, as with any remarkable story, their lives were anything but ordinary. Margaret, known for her sharp wit and infectious laughter, had grown up in a close-knit family where love was abundant, even when resources were scarce. She was the heart of her family, always putting others first and finding joy in the smallest of things. Tony, on the other hand, was a man of quiet determination. A dock worker by trade, he spent long days hauling heavy loads, his hands calloused but his spirit unbroken. Together, they formed an unshakable partnership, a bond that would be tested in ways they could never have imagined. Their story began in the late 1970s, when Dublin was a city of contrasts. Opportunities were few, but the sense of community was strong. Margaret and Tony met at a local dance hall, a chance encounter that would change the course of their lives. Margaret often joked that it was Tony's awkward dance moves that first caught her attention, but there was something deeper that drew her to him, a sincerity that was rare and genuine. Tony, shy and reserved, was captivated by Margaret's vibrant energy. From their very first conversation, it was clear that they balanced each other in a way that felt almost fated. Life was not easy for the young couple. They married in a small, humble ceremony, surrounded by close friends and family, and soon after, Tony took on extra shifts at the docks to support their growing household. Margaret worked part-time at a local shop, juggling her job with the responsibilities of running a home. Their lives revolved around making ends meet, but they never let the weight of their struggles dim their spirits. They found joy in each other, and in the simple moments, a walk in the park, a shared meal, or evenings spent talking about their dreams for the future. Margaret dreamed of a life where their children could thrive without the burdens she and Tony had faced. She was determined to create a nurturing environment, one where love and encouragement would be the foundation. Tony, ever the realist, worried about providing for his family, but found solace in Margaret's optimism. They were a team, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. When their first child was born, it was a moment of pure joy. Holding their baby in their arms, Margaret and Tony felt a renewed sense of purpose. They poured all their love into their growing family, instilling values of resilience and kindness. It wasn't always smooth sailing. Financial struggles loomed large, and the pressures of daily life often tested their patience. But through it all, their bond only grew stronger. As the years went by, their household was filled with laughter, love, and the occasional bout of chaos. Margaret was the glue that held everything together, her warmth creating a haven for her family. Tony, though quieter, was the pillar of strength, a steady presence who led by example. They didn't have much in the way of material wealth, but what they lacked in possessions, they made up for in spirit. The arrival of their youngest son, Conor, brought a new dynamic to their lives. From the moment he could walk, Conor was a whirlwind of energy, a boy with boundless curiosity and an undeniable spark. Margaret often remarked that he was different from the others, not because he was better, but because there was something in his eyes that hinted at a fierce determination. Tony, ever the proud father, saw it too. He would take Conor on long walks, sharing stories of his own struggles and triumphs, instilling in him the value of hard work and perseverance. As Conor grew, so did his ambitions. While other kids were content with kicking a football around, Conor had bigger dreams. He would shadowbox in front of the mirror, mimicking the moves he'd seen on TV, his small frame radiating confidence. Margaret and Tony encouraged his interests, even when they didn't fully understand them. They knew their son was destined for something extraordinary, but they couldn't have predicted just how far he would go. The McGregor's home became a hub of activity, filled with the sounds of Conor's training sessions, his laughter, and his occasional frustrations. Margaret often found herself patching up bruises or offering words of encouragement when things didn't go as planned. Tony, though proud of his son's drive, worried about the toll it might take. He had seen the hardships of life firsthand and wanted to shield Conor from the pain of failure. But he also knew that resilience was forged in the face of adversity. As Conor's journey began to take shape, Margaret and Tony remained his unwavering support system. They celebrated his victories and comforted him in defeat, always reminding him of the values they had instilled. But as their son's fame grew, the spotlight brought scrutiny, and the McGregors found themselves thrust into a world they didn't fully understand. The pressures of fame tested their resilience in ways they hadn't anticipated, but their love for their son and for each other remained their anchor. What they didn't realize was that their story, the foundation they had built as a family, was as much a part of Conor's success as his training or his talent. The values they had instilled in him, their unwavering support, their belief in hard work, and their refusal to give up were the very things that propelled him to greatness. But as the world celebrated Conor McGregor, the fighter and the superstar, Margaret and Tony remained in the background, proud but humble, content to let their son shine. Yet, behind the scenes, there were struggles that even the strongest bonds couldn't completely withstand. The pressures of fame, the strain of a life lived in the public eye, and the challenges of navigating a world so different from the one they had known threatened to pull them apart. Margaret and Tony found themselves at a crossroads, questioning how to balance their son's dreams with the values they held dear. Their story was far from over, and as they faced the challenges ahead, one thing remained certain: the love and resilience that had carried them through the toughest of times would continue to guide them. But in the quiet moments, away from the spotlight, Margaret and Tony couldn't help but wonder, had they done enough to prepare their son for the path he had chosen? And could they withstand the weight of the world that now rested on their shoulders? Their journey, like Conor's, was one of determination, love, and an unyielding belief in the power of family. And as their story unfolded, it became clear that the McGregors were not just witnesses to history. They were an integral part of it.